Dicen que en épocas de grandes cambios es cuando aparecen las mejores oportunidades. Este es el momento de aprovechar el presente para construir el futuro que deseamos. Hoy abrimos una puerta al futuro en el que las más avanzadas tecnologías se ponen a disposición del ser humano para construir un mundo mejor. Descubre Decentra, la oportunidad que eleva tu potencial con la ayuda de las mejores herramientas digitales del mercado actual, como blockchain, staking, web 3.0, NFTs, DeFi y más, mientras te ayuda a mejorar tus finanzas personales. Usando la tecnología más avanzada hoy y creando la que está por llegar. Bienvenido al futuro. Bienvenido a Decentra. Dice: el mundo del futuro se está construyendo en estos momentos. Un universo sin límites llamado metaverso está naciendo. La siguiente generación en la evolución de Internet. Un lugar donde las barreras de tiempo y espacio no existen. Un mundo donde la imaginación, fusionada con el desarrollo tecnológico, construirán los negocios del futuro. Y en este mundo, los cimientos de una gran ciudad comienzan a ser colocados. Decentra y Landian, la alianza que cambiará el mundo, están construyendo Decentra City dentro del metaverso. Esta ciudad será un lugar para explorar, para crecer, para conectar, donde podrás hacer tantas cosas como desees. Y habrá un lugar para el emprendimiento, para la formación, el arte, el entretenimiento y las relaciones humanas. En Decentra City podrás comprar o alquilar coches, invertir en activos, comprar la casa de tus sueños o construir un gran edificio. Pero también podrás disfrutar de multitud de experiencias asombrosas. O jugar. Tendrás una versión digital de ti mismo, viviendo e interactuando con otros ciudadanos de Decentra City, con un avatar personalizado. El metaverso hiperrealista más avanzado del mundo. Este es un momento único en la historia. La primera compañía de network marketing que arranca oficialmente dentro del metaverso. Decentra City, la ciudad donde no existe lo imposible. largo del tiempo, siempre existieron personas con la visión, dedicación y la determinación para cambiar la historia. Personas que comparten un presente y un futuro. Ahora nosotros tenemos una misión: encontrar a esas personas con las que cambiaremos el mundo. Nace el Círculo de Fundadores Limitless, un grupo selecto de líderes que actúan con valores, principios y compromiso. Solo 30 personas serán elegidas para pertenecer a este Círculo de Fundadores. 30 elegidos que tendrán una gran responsabilidad, pero también serán premiados por su entrega. Los miembros del Círculo de Fundadores Limitless podrán estar en lugares maravillosos: Dubái, Miami, Nueva York, París, Mónaco, Londres, Tokio. Tendrán acceso exclusivo a entrenamientos con las mentes millonarias más importantes del mundo: Tony Robbins, John Maxwell, Grant Cardone, Robert Kiyosaki. Entrenados y preparados para cambiar la historia, para construir un legado. Una nueva era comenzará con el Círculo. Los fundadores estarán construyendo la empresa más grande del siglo, la de mayor crecimiento, la de mayor impacto: Decentra. ¿Estás preparado para ser uno de ellos?
Hey, listo.
Ready to go. How are you, my Decentra family? I am so happy and grateful of being here today, of being able to share valuable information. But I would love, before we start, to know a little bit about you. Who is connected right now? And tell me, from where are you logging in today? It's so important because when you connect, especially a Monday, 10 a.m., where you're surely that comes here maybe with a hangover from the party of yesterday, or perhaps you haven't even wake up yet, and that perhaps you're doing so many things, but today, you on Monday at 10 a.m., you are getting ready, and you're trying to learn and know more to take your business to the next level, all right? So I already saw a lot of people from Medellin, Tabasco, Colombia. I have a lot of people from Colombia. I want you to type a number 5 and number 7 in the chat if you want to learn something, if you are willing to know something new. And I'm going to tell you something. If today you are connected, but perhaps someone from your team is not connected yet, I would like you to send them a message and, hey, connect, because today you're going to learn something new. And the information that we are going to take today is valuable information, not because I'm providing it. It's because it's information that I didn't make it up. I study it. And that is information that a lot of people that with the huge success have been sharing for years. So I wanted to share what has taken me to be successful. And that is information that I wanted to share today. And that is are things that today, and I want to start with this small story because something really funny happened. The corporate is so professional that days prior are getting ready with yourself to see what topic you're going to be sharing with the slides, with the presentation. And it was something really funny because when they tell me about the topic that I'm going to be sharing, and I'm going to be taking a little bit of time of sharing, and the topic that I'm going to share today with you, and that we're going to be talking about the follow-up for the people that likes about this. I was thinking, hey, Daniel, the thing that you do the least is follow-up. And the thing that you can talk about the least is, well, is that follow-up. And then I had this topic, and it's something very, very funny because I know that I was doing a follow-up, and I was thinking that the thing that I'm going to share today is the thing that I was practicing. So when I started doing it and started thinking a little bit more in the things that I did and I didn't, I think that this is something that you make in a more natural way. And I start being more aware of this information. And then I realized it's not something that I didn't do, but this is something that, not that I was not doing it, but that I made it so naturally that I didn't realize that I was doing it. And this information is going to help you a lot because when you're barely starting and you're starting to practice it, perhaps you're going to be kind of forced, and that you're going to be reminding yourself what you need to do, what you have to do, what the things that you need to be doing. But trust me, the more you practice and the more you practice and the more you practice, it's going to be a part of your life. And there's going to be a point in your life that without thinking about it and without being conscious and aware about it, you're going to be repeating it so much that you are not going to realize that you are actually doing it. And those are the principles of success that will take and lead your business to another level and start making it grow faster, to have more a bigger and fatter paycheck, and that you're going to start connecting with other leaders on the world and let them connect to your business. So type in the chat number 7, who would like to have a good business, a prosper business, a business where all the people are chatting with you, sending you a message, and they tell you, hey, I want to be working with you. So please type number 7 in the chat. Excellent, great. So let's start with this. And it's precisely of this information that I want to share today. And also for the people that are taking notes. And if you are not, take a pen and paper. So how can we create this curiosity and this interest and make a proper follow-up? And I think that I'm setting these two together because I think that they has to be together. You cannot make a prospection without making a person feel interested by the things that you're about to say. So all the people that are writing down. So if you're not taking notes, please go for a pen and paper, whatever you use, your phone, your laptop, whatever, to start writing down notes, because this is so important that you start taking notes. And do you have a record of the things that you are learning? Because sometimes we forgot about this. So let me go to the slides. And one of the things that this is form, and perhaps you have heard about this so many times, and perhaps your leaders have told you about form. But when I was talking about this a few moments ago, when you become aware, perhaps you're using it and you are not realizing about this. Sorry, technical difficulties. Perhaps you're already using it and you haven't realized that you're using it. And it's in that point. Whereas perhaps, hey, Daniel, I will truly love have a prosper business, a business that is growing and that is becoming bigger and bigger. But for a reason, I don't know, any new person in my life. Even the new persons and the people that I'm meeting, I don't get to the point where they're feeling that interest of the things that I'm doing. Surely you have heard information and valuable information like Omar Salazar is sharing. So, hey, when you sign someone, it's two on one side and one from the other, and then one from that side and two on the other, and then you're going two and one. And that's when you say, hey, Omar, for that information. But from where I will get those two and one person to each side. And the information is so good. But how do I start meeting people? How do I start making the people start feeling interest in the things that I'm doing? And one of the techniques that I use is this one, is form. And I'm going to start explaining why does this work and why this not information that I just made up and I just invented it, because this is something that has worked for a lot of years. So when you start using this form, it's a really old technique. That is why there is a curiosity approach. And curiosity approach, in a way, is related a lot with horses. And let me explain why. When a horse is being trained and they want to move them from one side or one place to another, I don't know how many have you seen that they are using those huge carts made of steel where they put that horse inside and they are transporting them on the streets. So I want you to understand something. Horses are not domestical animals. They are so nervous, and that you said that this animal inside this place, they make them so nervous and so anxious, and they're afraid. So the people that their job is to train the horses, they use this curiosity approach when they start making them to get closer to this cart and start giving them something to the horses that they feel aroused by, like an apple, a carrot, and they make them follow that apple or that carrot until they get to that place. And when the horse is inside, they close the door and they just move them to the place where they want to take them. And this is just basically the curiosity approach. The same thing, we start doing it when we start talking with someone. We start giving them some carrots to that person, some apples to that car, and we lead them towards where we want them to go. And we start leading that conversation where we want them to go. And when you get to that point that is just crucial, where you are with that person and you want that person to be, that's when you say, all right, done. So let me explain. When I met a person, normally when I go to a party, to a meeting, I try to get and talk with people that I don't know. Perhaps you're different. Hey, my friends are over there, my family's over there, but no, you always try to be comfortable with uncomfortable and start sitting with people that you have never ever met and that you don't have even the slightest idea who they are. And then you start realizing that around you, around your family, your friend, and your closest circles, there might be people that are really interesting, that perhaps in a point they can be part of your business and you didn't even know about it. So when I go and sit with people that I don't know and I start using this formula, so perhaps you're telling me, hey, Daniel, I'm so shy. I have not the slightest idea how to start a conversation. So take note on this. And we're going to start using this form technique: family, occupation, recreation, and money. All right? And let me explain. Why does this work? Because when you start talking about the family with a person, people feel warmth, feel hugged by you, and they feel like you care what they are going through. People will feel that you actually have that genuine interest in them when you start talking on their family. And let me tell you an example. When you sit down at that table with a person that is unknown and you start talking, hey, tell me, with who do you live? And they start talking with the people that are closest to them. And it's like, hey, I live with my wife, with my two kids. And to the moms that are connected right now, tell me if I'm wrong here in the chat, but yes or no, you are happy when you are being asked about your kids. So do you feel happy or not? Hey, tell me about your kids. What are their ages? And when a mom, they're being asked by their kids, trust me, you are not gonna keep them quiet for the next hour. Hey, my kid is 7 years, he's going to elementary, he's going to the kindergarten, I don't know. And they're just gonna be talking and talking and talking about their family. Why? Because you only needed to ask the first step on form. And we all love being asked for our family, for our father, for our mom, for our sister, brothers, if you're married with your kids, with your wife. And we love to talk about it because there are people that we care. And because we care, we love to talk about them. So who agrees with me? So who agrees? So now I'm gonna give you an advice that I already talked with my organization. So when a person is talking to you about their family, and even that conversation is already over and they already talked the most, you can take a little bit more of information. Why? Because perhaps the only thing you only need to do and repeat the last phrase that they said, and they already talk about their family, their kids, and everything about them. And I'm so happy because my daughter already get into the junior high or high school, and we have people here with another language, and perhaps you tell them, all right, high school, and the only thing that you needed to do, and then they start talking more, hey, yeah, high school and this and this and that, and you're like, oh, so she's having a lot of homework? Yeah, because teachers and this and that, and just repeating that last phrase, you're making the person to talk even more about it. So the people that are taking notes, this is the main thing that you need to ask someone that you're barely starting to know and to meet. And that's the main thing, because that is a person that he's going to be interested to talk about him, but actually they don't like to talk about them. He wants to talk about what he cares. And John Maxwell has a phrase that says, and I quote, people are not interested in how much you don't know. People does not care how much you know until they know how much you care about them. Perhaps you can be great in your business. You can even be diamond, double diamond, triple diamond. But if people, they do not feel that genuine interest, well, they are not going to listen to you. So I repeat again this phrase, this quote. People do not care how much you know until they know how much you care about them. And this is important that we start generating that genuine interest and start creating that interest in other people. And I'm having this phrase, this quote, that I'm gonna trademark it as mine, as my own, and how to create friends and how to influence some people. And I tell all my team, you start need to creating friends without influencing people, only just do friends. And then you're gonna see that when you have a great skill to create friends, to create relationships. Alexis say, hey, that quote is mine. And you need to start creating relations without trying to have that influence on others, without trying to force that information to other person. And then you can see that it's as simple as that. It's not even necessary that you want to talk about your business, because when you do the form in the proper way, there's going to be a point where people are going to ask you about your business without you trying to force that information into them. And that's like I am. I do not care about talking about my business to anyone. People ask me about it. Hey, I didn't want to talk to you about, but now that you're insisting, well, let me tell you, because you will get to that point. When you're practicing and using this form, People are just gonna ask, hey, just tell me, what do you do? What do you do? Keep it number 7 in the chat, that all the people that you know start asking you, hey, what do you do for a living? For the people that are taking notes, let's go to the second step. That is occupation. People already told you about their parents, their friends, their kids, the people that are feeling interested and that they care about. So when they talk about it, hey, all right, well, now tell me, what do you do for a living? And that's when people start getting unveiled a little bit more. And it's like, hey, I don't know, it's like, I do real estate, I sell cars, I do banking, I don't know. And they're going to be telling you about what they do. What is their profession, all right? They're going to be talking to you about their lifestyle, about what they do for a living. And this is really important because I use many techniques in this step of the occupation. And this, I didn't say at first, but I want that you, when you start using the form, take away from your head that you're going to be prospecting, because this is not prospecting. This is only to know someone. This is not a prospection. And when you use this part of the occupation, because I was giving that carrot to the person and I'm leading them towards I want them to be. So when they start talking about their occupation and their profession, and they can be a little bit like cocky or something like of the things that they do. And sometimes I took it down a notch with their ego. You know, I'm a manager of, I don't know, I work in this bank and I have a good position. And then you start realizing that that person wants to brag about. And like in Mexico, we call this screening, because it's a mask, it's a screen of what they actually are. And when they start bragging about of what they do, and you start taking it up a notch in that part with them, so they can feel that you're even value even more their job and what they do. Is, hey, I'm a manager, I do this. Hey, wow, this is something interesting. Your job must be so great. You must be so happy. That must be the perfect job for you. And when you start saying that, person even say, well, is not that perfect. Hey, actually, it takes a lot of time of my free time. I don't see my family as much as I wanted, but it's a job that pays well, but it actually takes away a lot of time. I don't see the people that I love. And they start talking to you about this situation of problems with them, of what they do. And then you start realizing those areas of opportunity. Like, hey, I'm not prospecting them, but he's telling me that he has no time. Oh, if someone had a millionaire business and project that can give you free time, and remember, who is that person that can provide that job in that business that you can be that person. Can you see where the carrot is? Do you see where I'm leading them? Third, recreation. When you talk about recreation, you're talking about hobbies. You're talking about what that person likes to do in their free time. Hey, but you already told me about your occupation and that you don't have much free time with your kids. But if you had the time that is required and necessary, and if time and money were not an issue, what would you like to do? And people will just talk a lot because you're talking about their dreams. What do they like to do? What would they like to practice? And we all have that recreation that we will love to do, and we are not doing. All right. This means, hey, I would love to do skiing. Have you ever skied? No, I haven't, because I don't have time. And then you start having that valuable information that in a moment given is going to work as a hook to have that valuable that you might have and that person is seeking for. And type in the chat, because surely we all have something that we love to do and that we're not doing it right now. So type it in the chat because I want to know you a little bit more of you. I will always love to do this. I will be love to learn in English. I would love to learn how to swim, how to play the guitar. You have your hobbies, you have your all those things that you're passionate for. And because you might not have the time or don't have the money, you're not doing it right now. Paula says, I will always love to learn how to sing. And this is something interesting. Hiking, traveling, learn English. Thank you to all the people that are sharing this information. Travel a lot. And this is why I was telling you about. And is to meet the person, is to make friends. If I try to influence on them, I will not get to anywhere. And it's just doing friends by doing friends. And then you're going to realize how that genuine interest is going to lead you to people have that interest on you. Hey, Daniel, I see that you're doing so great. What do you do? And for the person that followed me on social media, we had some interesting travels thanks to a corporate. The time that we could went to Dubai, the official headquarters of Dubai. And if you haven't went there, I recommend you to go there. And obviously, I upload this kind of content to my social media. And the people that are start showing that interest on my lifestyle, hey, I've seen that you're doing so good. Hey, I've seen that you already went to Dubai. Hey, tell me, what do you do for a living? Hey, well, I didn't have planned to talk about what I do for a living, but now that you're insisting, well, and that is the subject. I'm not seeking to force that prospection. I don't trying to be like a shark and go straight for the jugular. Hey, my business is this and this and this and this and this. No, I don't do like talking about, hey, you're gonna get this profit staking, because that will only overwhelm people. These will only close the door in front of your face. And I have set examples with my team. How many of you will not receive in your social media messages like, hey, I love your profile, I would love to talk about your team, and they send you a Bible in your social media and your Facebook, and you're saying, hey, my brother, you have no idea how to do a prospection. So who do you get a message or your DM in your social media? Hey, exactly like I wanted. I wanted to have a huge message to read for me today, and that I want them to get into their business. So I'm in. So truthfully, this is not how it works. The way that I can do a training is for you to not make these mistakes, because I'm going to be honest, more than 90% in the world that is doing network marketing are not showing the results because they're doing the same old things one and over and over and over and over and over again. So if you keep doing the things that the 90% are doing, you're going to have the results of that people. And more than the 90% in their life haven't been on business from home. The 90%, they don't get an income of over $1,000 a month because they're doing the same mistakes. So take note on this, because this is going to help you a lot to know actually how to have a good relationship with a person that you don't know, even by social media or face to face. And then we're going through the follow-up. And last is the part of the money. Here you can put a lot of things like the dreams that are physical, those material, that income, and that economics, and that financial situation that people would like to love, to have. And you're not talking about like goals of how much they want to earn, but you can talk about their dream car, their dream house, the college that they always want to take their kids to. You are literally talking about what they have always dreamed about. And hey, so what's the car that you would like to have the most? Hey, but when I was a kid, I had 8 years old, I was dreaming about having a red Ferrari and going through Andares. But I was growing and I saw that the Nissan didn't ask much for that Ferrari. I always liked a Lamborghini, but I realized that perhaps that Volkswagen was not a bad car either, right? all I always wanted a Audi R8, but Volkswagen is the same as Audi, and from an Audi R8 and from a Volkswagen Vento is almost the same thing. You know, that's when you start talking about that confirmation or settling, you know, you can see what people have always dreamed about. And not only about being settled with this, and that perhaps that you're watching that the way to get that financial freedom is not as good or as easy that you thought it was going to be. So the thing that happened is that when we're not getting as much income as you thought, and that you saw that it was not that as easy as you thought that it was going to be, then your dream is start adapting to your income and not the otherwise. So you start adapting that Lamborghini and that school, that house to your income. And no, you have to raise your income to your dreams. So I have a big dream, but I'm short on the income. Perhaps I'm gonna take my kids to the public school, and do not misinterpret it. I'm not saying that having them in a public school is bad, but I know there are millionaire people that have their kids in public schools, in public universities. I'm not saying it's bad and it's wrong. But what I'm saying is that you have and that you need to start making your dreams smaller according to your income. And that is so wrong. And that is a mistake because you think and you believe that that is the only way to do it. And that is your mistake. That's where we are mistaken. We need to raise our income to our dreams and to our goals. And we start generating more. And then I can buy the lifestyle that I'm seeking for. Because tell me, resources are unlimited in our marketing. Even if you don't have them right now at World, we have unlimited resources. So all the people in here can become multimillionaires. And if you are not having it, it's because you haven't done enough and you have not the right information. And precisely that's why you are logging in here today, right? So this is the part from the form. This was the template where I was going to take the most. But it's important, how can I start creating that curiosity on asking people about their family, what they do, their hobbies, and their dreams. When you ask this about a person, trust me, you already been 2 hours just talking about them, right? And you don't even realize. Because this is something that I love. This is something that I just feel fascinated, and that you met the most deeper and inside of that person. So if you don't start immediately talking about money, people are gonna feel that you're gonna feel interest because you're talking about other things that is not money and it's not business, and that you didn't want to make an influence on them, and they will feel that interest that you are spending on them, and then that is gonna wake up that curiosity. Because here in Latin, we're always talking about like just by being polite. When you get to a person, hey, how you doing? How will people say about because they're being polite? Good. How about you? Hey, what do you do for a living? Hey, I do this. And you? And that just talking about and you? And that just merely is a polite topic. And they're not actually feeling interest. And they are just asking because they're being polite, not because they feel interest. So if you're genuinely asked someone, most of the time it's going to be reciprocal. Hey, but you haven't told me about what you do for a living. Well, I didn't want it to do from my business. I didn't want to tell you about that today. I'm a diamond at Decentra, but hey, let's start with this. Who will love say like, hey, I didn't want to tell you that I'm making a few $1,000s in this company. Who will love that this happened to you? Now that I'm talking about the form, now that you already know, how can we start knowing, meeting new people? Now, let's go with the second And that this is the part of the BFM. For the people that has heard about Holton Box, that is a great leader from network marketing, you're gonna know about this BAMFAM term, because you're gonna get to the point where precisely they're gonna ask you, and what do you do? And surely enough, you're gonna make the mistake that I did for a lot of years, and it would like to explain the whole business in 5 minutes. And that's why you're gonna say all the words that you think: investment, taking the application, network marketing. I do this and this and this, and you're gonna give so much information in 5 minutes. You're gonna want to be talking about binary. You're gonna be talking about matching bonus. You're gonna want to be talking about the direct bonus. You're gonna be talking about all the business in 5 minutes. So what do you think he's gonna do? Oh, why did I ask? That person is just gonna be overwhelmed. Is gonna be like annoyed, you know? And that's what you're gonna get. And it's not about this, because when that person got there, you said that carrot, asking about their family, about their money, their occupation, and you start leading the person towards you wanted them to be. And when that person asks, what do you do? In that moment, you can give a pat on the back and say, hey, you're there where you wanted to be. Because at the end, that's the goal that we all have, to be asked, what are we doing? But hey, look at this. Do not make the mistake to give the whole information to that guest or that prospect. And that's, let me go back and show you this, how to create that curiosity. All right? Because when I tell everything, you already did it wrong. But you need to start creating curiosity. And how do we start creating that? Precisely, just give them a few tastes. Again, with that carrot, you give them a few tastes so that people start feeling interest on the things that I'm doing. And when they ask me, hey, what do you do for a living? I have a huge list, depending on the person, but I have a huge list of the things that I answer. And amongst them, I train what I do for a living is train people to become millionaires. And watch this. Perhaps you're even a shark in the normal marketing and you already know all these techniques, but most of the 50% of people didn't know about this. When you use certain techniques,
creamos curiosidad. ¿A cuántos les daría mucha curiosidad?
How will you feel curious about that? The person that says, hey, what do you do for a living? And I said, I train people to become millionaires. Who would love to create that curiosity to listen to this? I train people to become millionaires. So who feels interest when you hear about this? Or perhaps what I do is to train people to achieve their financial freedom. And what do you think? When I answer this, what do you think they answer? Hey, so what do you do for a living? You haven't tell me about this. Well, I help people to let people get their financial freedom. What do you think they're going to answer back? And when they ask me about this,
¿Vale? Paula también dijo, van a decir, upale, yo
I
quiero.
haven't heard about this. Do you already have that financial freedom? And when the people even ask, and it's like, hey, I train people to achieve the financial freedom. So if I am already trained people to do so, of course I already have it. So that's a really good one. Like Omar said. So do you already have that financial freedom? And you don't even have to say yes or no. I have never been asked in that personal prospection out there. And when I got asked about this, it's like, I always answer this. I cannot show and teach someone to swim if I don't know how to swim, right? But everyone asks, and how is that? How is that you train people to achieve the financial freedom? And I do it in this place that is called Training Call, and we help people to have the financial freedom and to start seeking the lifestyle that they want. But more than this, just nothing more than this. But how is that training system? I would love to know about this. Is that it's only for members or customers that are in a company? I cannot share much about this. And the only thing that you need to do is to give them the carrot. Just give them a little bite and just walk away. Another little bite, and then I step back. This is a training so good, but not everyone has access. And then I give him the carrot, and then I step back. And then he starts talking and asking and asking and asking, because I didn't want to talk about my business. He's the one asking about my business. Then he's the one asking. And when I tell him, truthfully, what do we do is also the financial part. We have staking packages, and basically we get to a goal that is 200%, and we start talking a little bit about it. But I'm not interested to talk about my business. It's just staking packages, and then I move. And what is that staking thing? Tell me about this. It's something where we use Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and then I just step back. Can you understand what I'm trying to say right now? It's not about of me prospecting. It's that I'm luring that person to me, and that is creating curiosity, because I am not interested about talking about Decentra. I am not interested about my rank. I am not interested to talk about how much I earn. I want him to be interested on asking what I do. That's where this network marketing game starts. Because if I'm just going and sharing the plan and start prospecting to everyone, to the first person that I met, I'm just going to be tired of giving these plans. And I do not care about this. I just care about people getting near me. Ooh, I do, and I train people to change the mental thermostat on people. It's something that actually feel and that people are seeking. The mental thermostat, much people doesn't even know about this. And people know about their financial freedom, and people are trying to seek about this because they're going to feel that interest. So try to find those phrases that perhaps that I can be a millionaire, and perhaps I train people to help them to fulfill their dreams, to get their car, to get their house. Hey, I have a dream that I haven't achieved, but I want a Ferrari, and I'm having a Volkswagen. That what's create curiosity on people. So let's start doing a little bit faster. BAMFAM, the first mistake when you start in network marketing is to give more information. That's where we use BAMFAM. If you ask me what BAMFAM is, I don't have the slightest idea, but that is the technique call. And what is BAMFAM? It's make an appointment from another appointment. To schedule an appointment from other appointment. And I will not talking about my business when I'm there. If I was invited in a wedding or a party, I will never talk about Decentra, and I will never talk about my rank, how much I earn. I will not talk about this. I would like to make an appointment another time in that event. I know that you are interested in having that financial freedom, right? Yes, of course, I'm interested. I think that this is not the proper time to talk about this, but how about if we get tomorrow and I give you more details? That is BAMFAM. And that's making an appointment from another appointment. So if I kill that interest about talking everything in the first time that I saw them, they are going to be annoyed and overwhelmed. So BAM is doing an appointment from another appointment or another event. So you need to set that appointment to the next day. How do you think that person is going to be spending their night? With that expectation of know what are you going to be telling them the next day? That is BAM. So do not give the presentation where you're knowing someone. That's the worst mistake. Take the most number of contacts. That's what you need to be doing. I do not care to talk to you about, but hey, give me your contact, give me your number, and then we make an appointment from another time. So I will get your number and I create your contact. Hey, what do you talk about this? We're talking about a little bit more about this because the way that you're seeing, I can lead you so you can have that financial freedom. It's different, right? Hey, I invite you to my business and say, hey, I love your profile. No, it doesn't work like that. Do not tell this to the people because this has never worked. I tried it once or twice, but it didn't work. And this is proven. The greatest on network marketing are using it, and that's why they're having the results. Type in number 1 in the chat. To all of you that are learning something. Exactly. They're not going to be able to sleep with that information. They don't even know what is going to happen to them. And that is called creating curiosity. And to wrap this up, the part of this follow-up. And this is so interesting. And this is so short. Follow-up or chasing. So what are you doing? It's different to give a follow-up to a prospect or a guest or a client. They're be chasing them down everywhere. Because trust me, when the follow-up becomes a chase, your business is not pretty because you start becoming annoying, you start becoming intrusive. But I met a leader in network marketing, and if you do this, watch out. That it was so intrusive. He was doing that chasing, and he signed people, but it only worked for the first ranks. And that's where you get with your own effort. But you want to do a business in this industry in a big team, it doesn't work anymore because the only thing that he could do is to be a great on sales, and he did prospections and everything. But what happened? That a point given, if you need to convince someone and you need to beg someone to join, imagine how much you're going to have to start begging for them to start working. If you need to convince someone or you need to beg someone to join to your business, imagine how much you are going to need to be begging for them to start working. That one hurts, right? Because this happens a lot. Just because we want to sign quickly, because we want to make them sign fast, and start pushing people to get into our business, well, people are not going to do anything because they just got in because they wanted you to shut up and to stop annoying them. And that is chasing. So I'm going to tell you that what is follow-up. And follow-up is so simple. And this quote, my uplines tell me about it. And is my mentor, Alex Ramos, and I hope that he's here and give me feedback. Follow-up, the proper follow-up is to do what you said that you were going to do in the time that you say you're going to do it. You cannot be telling people, hey, I called you tomorrow, and you call them 3 days later. No, you have to call them tomorrow. If you say that you are going to schedule them for tomorrow, it's totally forbidden. Hey, you know what? I saw my schedule, and actually, tomorrow I can, and I can do it on Saturday, but you schedule him for Tuesday. You are the businessman. You are the one that feels the interest that that person is in your business, not the other way around. So do what you said that you were going to do it in the moment that you said that you were going to do it. Don't be wrong on your word. Don't do wrong on your word. Otherwise, people are not going to trust you. Hey, you did a good job doing that form. You did also a good job doing that BAM and creating curiosity. Hey, that's a good job. Hey, amazing. I see you tomorrow. Hey, you know what? Tomorrow I can't. So you have that check, and the last one you don't do it right. It's no use. So network marketing is a series of activities that you need to do in order to be successful. You have to all them to get it done. So H2O, you know, it's water. You give them a more atom of oxygen, and that water becomes a poison, because that's hydrogen oxide, and then this is just become something poisonous instead of something good for you. So if you have this formula that you need to have everything right, this is just like a chemical formula. You need to have it all right in order to achieve what you are seeking for. Maintaining always close to that guest or that prospect. You always need to be carrying it in that constant contact. Is so different, and this is so thin line in chasing and follow-up. So you have to be thinking that that guest is not a prospect, it's a friend, and that you are just checking on them to see how they are, not because you want them to hurry up into the business. And this is so line is so fine, is so thin that it can be broken. And that thin line, you only need to be interested into staying in touch with them, all right? And these are people, you have to ask them their phone, but you are not asking them their phone because you're going to be calling them every day, because that is a passive and active follow-up. And all the people that are brand new, I will ask their phone number and their social media, because perhaps I will not be writing every single day and tell them what my business is. But sorry about corporate. But the unlucky guy that gives me their social media, I'm going to be bombarding them with my information in my social media. I'm going to be uploading reels of me working, of me traveling, of my team working. I'm going to be uploading and posting meetings, business meetings. I'm going to be uploading recreation reels when I go to dinner, my car. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be sending all the information of my business. I'm going to be bombarding them with my social media. And all of that I posted on my social media. To the poor guy or the poor lady gives me their information, I'm going to be bombarding them with my reels, with my stories. And why do I upload? And what are my social media? Well, that's a carrot for a lot of people. People knows that I'm a red one and I love that lifestyle. Well, I'm going to be uploading that lifestyle. To the people that are more methodic, they see me working in the Starbucks with my team in business meetings. And it depends on what kind of personality you have with that prospect. They're going to be seeking and going to be telling me that specific thing. If I post an R8 of my upline, or perhaps I have some reels working with my team, and then I set some new licenses and a new partner, a new family member with 3,000 USDT, 5,000 USDT, I don't know. And they answered that real. Hey, I love what you're doing. Hey, what do you do for a living? And that is that passive follow-up. I not sent to no one. I was not interested. I just uploaded information to my social media and that's it. I'm not sending it, but they're asking me, hey, I don't care about talking to you, but let's talk a little bit more. Do a proper follow-up and stop chasing people. And this is all the information that I wanted to share with you. I appreciate and I'm so grateful that you're here and connect today. I love your punctuality. And the most important thing is not about the information that you have. It's the information that you are practicing, all right? So all this information that you are carrying is not only for you to save it in your brain, but actually to apply it and to start practicing it. At first, I was telling you, at first, you can even take notes and remember the form. At first, it's going to be too methodic, and it's going to be too conscious that you are doing it, and that's okay. But little by little, and that constancy, you're going to start doing it automatically. And I met 2 new persons the other day, and that's when I do it more consciously. Because when I start doing my formula, I start doing, hey, family, occupation, recreation, and money. And at the end, I got the contact from those 2 people that I met yesterday. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. The difference is that I didn't know how to do it, but because I'm going to talk about this tomorrow, I'm being aware and I'm being conscious that I'm doing it. So practice it so much that it gets to a point where you said, I never do a follow-up. I never create curiosity. You are doing it every day, but you are not being aware of it. Thank you for your punctuality. Thank you for that you are here and practice every single day until you become a professional and you all get to diamond. So thank you all. See you next time.
Recording stopped.